The end of Battlefield 2042 is upon us. I want to talk about this new blog post put out by EA detailing the future or subsequent lack of a future for 2042, as well as the future for the franchise as a whole. There's a lot I want to talk about because I haven't discussed anything going on with this game in a while. I was going to talk about the recent closure of Ridgeline Studios, but let's just encompass it all into one video here and talk about where I feel this game needs to go in the future. My name is Big Fry. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content just like this. Let's talk Battlefield. So a brand new blog post was posted this morning, an update on Battlefield 2042 and welcoming Motive Studios to the team. And the subtitle reads, "The team expands as we set our sights on what's next." Expansion is one way to put it, no doubt about it. Let's talk about it. When Battlefield 2042 launched, we promised to bring 4 seasons of content to the game, including new maps, additional specialist weapons, vehicles, and more. As our seasons continued, the feedback we received made it clear your appetite for more Battlefield 2042 remains strong. I think realistically, we just wanted to see if you guys would bail after the 4th season, or if you would actually take the time to make this a worthwhile purchase for the people who felt burned at launch. And I will say, Battlefield 2042's post-launch content was good. As a whole, looking at what they've done, pretty good content. It's just very few and far between when you compare it to what just released with Modern Warfare 3 Season 3. It's night and day, the live service attempts between these two massive AAA franchises. Even though Battlefield's content was good, there just wasn't enough of it. And alas, there will be no more of it. The post continues, "While we've enjoyed and are proud of creating these seasons of additional content, it's now necessary for us to turn from the present to the future. What this ultimately means is that Season 7 will serve as the final season for 2042. So 2042 is essentially going on life support. They said they're going to support it with new challenges, events, modes, and of course ongoing maintenance, but they're moving away from delivering official seasons, which means the content drip for this live service AAA behemoth is dead. They say that they know the news may be disappointing. However, as we looked at what the future of the series required, it requires a good game off the rip so you don't lose, your entire player base. But they said it's becoming clear it's time for us to shift our resources and focus to be fully dedicated on what comes next. And I have so much to talk about here. They say, as I've mentioned in previous updates, we have an ambitious vision to embrace and unlock the vast potential of the series' class-based squad play and immersive, intense battles. So I think right there, just taking that sentence as a whole, class-based squad play, immersive, intense battles, that sounds great. And that kind of leads up with the leaks that we had seen recently, in which they are wanting to shift back to a more, class squad-based gameplay, which is fantastic. But then they go on to say that they're bringing Motive Studios. If you guys don't know who they are, they made the remake of Dead Space, Star Wars Squadrons, are building a team focused on Battlefield at their studio. We're tremendously excited for Motive as they're bringing their expertise with Frostbite and compelling storytelling to the fold. Now, you might be wondering, what the fuck happened to Ridgeline Games? You guys remember the studio being fronted by Halo's co-creator Marcus Leto? Yeah, that studio just shut down about a month ago. Marcus Leto left EA prior to the official announcement that that studio was being shut down, and that studio was built from the ground up to work on the single-player portion of Battlefield. And clearly, based on Marcus Leto's own tweet, in which he kind of insinuates that he left on bad terms, because he says here in this tweet that he actually hasn't been saying much here since he doesn't have anything positive to say about EA, his recent departure, and how so many, including his whole team, are suffering due to the industry-sweeping layoffs. So if you guys didn't know what happened, Marcus Leto left EA on his own accord, according to a tweet on February 27th. He says, "It was a very tough decision for him to make. I want to thank the Battlefield community for allowing me to listen to you while I was able." And if you read between the lines here, it sounds to me like Marcus Leto was creating something that I would say, he was really in tune with the Battlefield community. He was commenting, he was in discussions, he was listening to the feedback. And that sentence right there tells me that EA stepped in and did something to his studio, to whatever. But regardless, A day later, EA announces that they're shutting down Battlefield Studios' Ridgeline Games, and obviously the studio was working on the narrative experiences for Battlefield. And then, of course, he alludes that there is bad blood there and things didn't go well. And then we have this announcement here. So they're bringing in Motive to work on the compelling storytelling, and they want to bring them into the fold, joining DICE, Criterion, and Ripple Effect in building a Battlefield universe across connected multiplayer experiences and single player. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing people get excited about this announcement. Look, Motive Studios has just insane talent at that studio. But watching what happened with Ridgeline Games, how they were built from the ground up, set up, Marcus Leto has bad blood, the entire studio gets laid off. What did actually happen at that studio to make, you know, Marcus Leto leave? Like, what are the internal conversations from the EA execs up top trying to make the financial decisions, and the guys who are on the ground making the creative calls to bring this game to our hands? I'm a little nervous. Watching Marcus Leto get thrown to the wolves sucks, because he was one of the only reasons why I was sitting here being excited for the next title. And now we have Motive, which again, Motive is great, but from the sounds of it, you still don't have full creative control if we take what Marcus Letos is kind of saying, you know, in between the lines. What does the future of Battlefield look like? I don't fucking know. According to a post here earlier this year, this was back literally February 27th, around the time that Marcus Leto was leaving, Insider Gaming has also learned that the next Battlefield title is taking somewhat of a back to its roots approach with the likes of 64-player matches, which is, again, a great thing. The return to its 4-class system, again, a great thing. An overhaul to its destruction systems, great. As for the game's setting, it will be set in the modern day, somewhere around 2025 to 2030, with a strong story-driven emphasis on modern technology used in war. All of that sounds fantastic. What we also found out is that Ripple Effect, according to this article from Insider Gaming, the studio is working on a new experience for the Battlefield franchise, and that new experience is a free-to-play Battle Royale title that's currently aimed to follow a similar strategy to the highly successful Call of Duty Warzone that will see the free-to-play experience tie in with its premium release. Now, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Battle Royales. I personally still think that Warzone is the top of the food chain when it comes to Battle Royale. Some people like Apex, some people like Fortnite. I'm a fan of Warzone. I was a fan of PUBG for a long time. I just think that Warzone has that modern kind of military aesthetic, bunny skins and whatever else. It's got a modern, like, military-esque vibe to it, and I think that Battlefield could do Battle Royale proper, but I just don't know how people feel about it. I know a lot of people enjoyed Firestorm from Battlefield 5, but it was a premium release that essentially died on arrival. Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone, again, not being free to play, died on arrival. So maybe this being a free to play version could bring people into the Battlefield ecosystem again if it's done well. I don't know, man. All I can hope for is that the next title fucking slaps. And just, outsider perspective looking at this, what I'm seeing is a bunch of studios being built and set up to, hone in their Battlefield experience. And we had that on the last one. I don't think it's exciting seeing a bunch of different crazy studios working on the same title, because it clearly didn't work the first time around. The launch for 2042 was an absolute shit show. And now we have DICE, Criterion, Ripple Effect, Motive. We already had one studio that was started and shut down. What's this going to look like at launch? I desperately hope that Battlefield comes back proper, because I think if it doesn't, I think this franchise gets shelved for a while, because EA isn't going to be seeing the returns that they want to see investing this much money into a game, even though it's of their own doing. But with all of that said, let me know what you guys want to see in the next Battlefield title. Are you excited for it going back to 64 players? Do you want to see the class-based system? I'm guessing we all are on the same page there. That is what Battlefield is. There is no need to stray from that. If you want to do the Battle Royale, just make it good, and I'm sure people will play it. I'm focused on not only the 64-player like conquest matchmaking, I'm focused on the single-player portion of this as well. I want a really good Battlefield campaign, and I would love to be able to do that campaign in a co-op environment with a full squad. If it's, we have like the 4-player squad system in the multiplayer, make the campaign 4-player co-op, and I think if you just play it safe this time around and deliver us a very solid Battlefield title, I think you're going to win, because we haven't had a genuine Battlefield experience set in the modern day in over a decade. And I think if you play it safe this time around, you win. Although I am curious to see what you guys have to say about that. Leave a comment down below. While you're down there, leave a like on the video. If you're not subscribed, fucking do so. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.